And it's recording. Hey everyone. So the purpose of this call, I was catering it more to moms. I came up with this concept in asking what are moms doing that are doing like the remote learning with their kids. They're working full time. They're running money and all the other stuff that life throws at them. And then as I started writing down, my alarm is sounding now. It says teen call. As I started writing down my notes, I'm like, man, a lot of people can use this, not just moms. So let me just share it to everybody. So again, the purpose was to cater it to moms, but we're all busy. I think, so we're gonna begin. And if I keep on looking down, it's because my notes are here. So I'll start off with saying I had a really tough month in August, not only like mentally, it was huge on like emotionally. And so I'll start off with saying in this business, not every day is going to be rainbows and butterflies. We will have tough days. We will have days that we're overwhelmed. I've had plenty of days, maybe once every month, where I'm like, I need a breather. I need to step away. I will literally put my phone down and like off I go. But the month of August, I felt super overwhelmed to the point that I was like, something needs to give. I know when we all start the business, we are so obsessed with money that we breathe, eat, sleep, everything money, money, money. And just like everything else in life, there has to be a balance. And so what I did was 5 tips and tricks that I'm going to share with everyone today that I implemented at the end of August. And I found a huge difference counting today based on those 5 tips that I'm going to share. So if you guys want to take notes, you can go ahead and take notes. I'm also recording the call if you want to go back to the call. First tip is, I know we always say do 100 lists of contacts. After 13 months running this business, I still have a list, maybe not 100, but I have a list of people that I haven't reached out to that they're still on that list. And every single day, or maybe every single week, I am constantly adding people into the list. If I spoke to somebody this month and they weren't in the list, when I print out my flagship report, because I do this once a month, every day, every first of the month, I'll print out my flagship report. Guess what? I'm adding the new person that I spoke to last month in that list. And they will stay on that list until they either become a VIP or a market partner. So that's tip number one. We have to constantly keep up updating our list. And if we write things down, it'll make it more organized for us going forward, because we're not all over the place trying to figure out who do we speak to, who did not speak to, who do we need to speak to next. Tip number two, I use Instagram as my social media platform to get out, the business. And so I implemented, I think it was 4 steps, 3 steps in my Instagram that made a huge difference from August till today. And I am going to share it with you. That doesn't mean you have to do it. It's just something that works for me that maybe it can work for you. First things first, we need to monitor what is it that we are using. For me, Instagram. Prior to money, I was using Instagram to just shop, literally just shop. Like I'll go on websites, I'll go on people's pages, and I'll follow like influencers, and they will obviously influence me to shop. Now, after money, I literally use Instagram for money. Like I spend time with my family more than I used to, so I don't really use it to connect with my family. And so for me, Instagram is my selling point for money. So with that being said, when I say Instagram, if you're using Facebook, Facebook applies, or whatever social media platform that you're using. So step A, because this is the second tip of the 5. So step A, I put settings. In your settings, you can put a time limit on your Instagram. I did not have that, and I will literally, in the month of August, I had an average of 12 hours daily on my phone. Guys, 12 hours daily on my phone was way too much hours on my phone. So I checked what was the 12 hours, and it was a lot on Instagram. You would think I was recruiting like crazy. No, I wasn't. So something I wasn't doing correctly was working against me. I put a time limit. Right now it's 3 hours, but back in August when I did my settings change, you can go to your iPhone on settings and put a time limit. I put 4 hours to begin, because an average was 8 out of the 12 on my phone. So start with putting a setting on your Instagram. Why? This will value your time on Instagram. Many times we get so bored, and I noticed this because in August when I did all these changes that I'm sharing now, I had 1 week of withdrawal issues, literally, like I was on drugs and I needed to be on Instagram. Even if I was not doing the business, I needed to be on Instagram. So 4 hours was really tough to deal with. If you can do 4, awesome. If you can do 5, go ahead and do that. This will monitor the usage of what the purpose you're on Instagram and why is it that you're doing it. I know I mute everybody, so if you want to jump in and say something, just put it in the chat because you can't unmute it because I just locked it, just in case. So 4-hour time limit. This will value your time and usage to monitor and how you use Instagram efficiently. If you're using it to contact people, family, friends, that's a different case. For me, was money. So 4 hours made a difference. B, make a short list. So this is the next step. If you're willing to do that, put your limit to 4 hours on Instagram. Your next step will be this. You are going to look through your Instagram and you already know which one are the leaders, your Monat leaders that every single day you are checking in. I have a few that as soon as I go into Instagram, these are the ladies that I'm looking up into. I'm going to see what they're doing, what they're posting, how they're saying. I have a specific ones. Set them to the side. And everyone else that's doing Monat, guess what? As tough as it may sound, you will mute their stories. And yes, it sounds pretty harsh, but this is why I'm saying it. You're gonna mute their stories because guys, I would do power hour by myself in the house. I wouldn't do like the power hour with the team. And I will spend literally half an hour distracted on people that was doing Monat and then wasting time on scrolling because I kept on looking for people that weren't doing Monat. And guess what? Everyone on my stories was all Monat. So I was either next or wow, that's a cool dress, or this is really cool. And then my half an hour just went by on Monat people. What did I do to my business? Nothing. But guess what? I just wasted half an hour that I could have been doing something else. And now I just let it go by on Monat people. So you are going to make a list of your top leaders of Monat, set them off to the side. You're not going to mute them because these are people that pour into you, that you learn from, that they inspire you to create, that they inspire you to want to post something or even show your face. I know a lot like Jessica. Jessica will like post on her stories, but she's interacting, she's talking. So maybe Jessica is one that's gonna fire you a little behind to want to talk and be more interactive on the phone. So look up your leaders. You know who you follow, you know who you're watching, and whoever does not inspire you, that at this point you're just seeing what they're up to, you're gonna mute their stories. Don't mute their posts. This is the difference. I don't mute anyone's post because you want to show support. So when any of you guys like post something on Instagram, when I open my Instagram, whatever picture is there, I am going to like it because I want to support who I'm following. But as far as stories, if they're not doing Monat, they should be the first ones up on your stories. So that was B. C was everyone doing Monat that isn't on the leaders list. That will give you more time to actually interact with people that are not Monat. That will also give you a visual of people that are not Monat that are actually watching your stories, because as people now start to move down the list, now you're gonna have people that are not doing Monat that are actually watching your stories. So now you can actually interact with them because now you have the time to go into their page. You can even see their posts. After I did this back in August, I've actually communicated with people not doing Monat that they've been following me, and I've never interacted with them because I just never had the time to pass all of my people to get to these people. So that's C. In conclusion to that, I put, again, this was supposed to be for busy moms, but we're all busy. In conclusion is 4 hours a day will teach you to use it wisely. If you have 4 hours on Instagram, what are you doing with those 4 hours? Are you playing? Are you wasting time? Or are you educating yourself, inspiring yourself to do better, reach out to new people? What are you doing in those 4 hours? If you can I went through a whole month with 4 hours and I didn't surpass that. Only twice I surpassed those 4 hours. Knock it down to 3. This will teach you that, yeah, you know what? This is time freedom. But if you're on your phone 12 hours, 13 hours, 14 hours in the day, and you've done nothing to your business, you haven't moved your PV, your GV, you haven't ranked up, you are literally wasting your time on something that's not growing or flourishing. Jessica, you said no. What happened? You want me to unmute you? Okay, hold on. I gotta find you. Okay, you can unmute it. You good?
There was a podcast from Bob Healing, Heiling. I don't know how you say his last name, but
Healing.
yeah. And I was just listening to it while I was in the bathroom taking a shower, and he said, many of us do this business, and the first thing we say is time management, time freedom, and things like that. But then again, you really can't control time. You can manage your time doing the business. So when Sam was just, saying what she said just now, it clicked. Yes, we all want time management, freedom. We all want that, but it's how you manage your time that's going to get you there. So that's what I wanted to say.
Yeah, and you're right. And one thing, there's a lot of people that's new on this call, and a lot of people that are new that will watch it later. So this doesn't apply to everybody, but this was me. So I'm MMM, right? And every month my check, the whole sum of all four checks every Friday on the 15th. I took the sum of that. And again, this may not apply to everybody, because if you just started the business, it doesn't apply. You need to grow and make money so you can see it flourish. So what I did was I said, okay, I'm spending 12 hours a day on my phone. Okay. I'm making X amount. All right. So 12 hours, and I times that by 7, and I times that by 4 weeks, and I came out with a number. Guess what, guys? I divided that number by how much I was getting from my Nate. And the last month, I can actually make more money going to work, going to my full-time job. So that's where it hit me. I'm like, if I can make more money at this point going to work, working 10 hours instead of 12 hours, and when I check clock out, I clocked out, then what's the point of me working Monat? Monat isn't the issue, it's how I'm applying myself. So when I would spend 8 hours on Instagram, probably 75% of that was not working Monat. So where I felt like, oh, I feel overwhelmed, I'm working too much. No, I wasn't working. I was wasting time on actually people that were already doing Monat. So that's why I knocked it down to 4 hours. Time management is key. We all want time freedom. So ask yourself, what am I doing while I'm on Instagram? Am I doing the business, or am I just wasting time? So at least you can focus on how much. Divide it. You can do it. Divide the income with money and how much you're applying it, and then focus on what is it that you're applying time with, and then ask yourself, is it really worth the 12 hours I make, the $12 an hour I'm making, or the $35 an hour that I'm making? But make sure that if I'm working the business, I'm working the business, but don't work it 12 hours and really think that you're doing something and you haven't even reached out to one person. Um, so that was tip number 2. Tip number 3 is, again, this was supposed to be catering to mom, but I feel like it works for everybody. We should all list 5 things that define you as a person. This will make you be yourself. A lot of times we'll wake up and we're like, I don't know what to post today. I don't know what to talk about today. If you have 5 things that define you, you will never waste time on what am I going to post tomorrow? What am I going to talk about tomorrow? Because those 5 things that define yourself is yourself. So you're literally showing people that who you are, who Sam is, who Jess is, who Kayla, Jasmine, you are the girls that I see right now. Based on those 5 things. So for me, an example of my 5 things, maybe you guys have 4 things, or maybe you guys have 3 things, but find out who you guys are and show that to Instagram, your followers, whoever it is that's watching your stories. For me, every morning or every day, my daily scripture. I'll wake up and I'll post that, followed by my coffee with a different song of the day. The third one is cooking. I like to cook. I show people how I cook and what meal am I doing. That's something that I like to do every single day. Mom life. So you'll see Sophia on my stories. And followed by Monat. I don't sit down and I say, okay, so today, and this was in the beginning. So again, if you're new, it may apply differently. I don't sit down and say, okay, so today I'm going to talk about hair. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about wellness. And the next day I'm going to find out about pets. No, if you're using skincare, show your face on how you're using skincare. I know Nicolette doesn't talk. One of the girls, she'll literally take the moisturizer, put it on her face, the C rating, she'll put every product, and she's not saying one word, and she makes sales. So if you're on Instagram and you're like, oh, but I'm too shy, I don't want to talk, then don't talk. Just put a song, just show your face. So instead of planning this person that you're not, that is one, too time consuming. You're wasting time on thinking, what am I going to post? How am I going to post? What am I going to say? When you can just be yourself. The same person that you are, that's what's going to actually call people. Because I'll be honest, when I first started, well, the first month, I was too shy to talk about recruiting because I was too concerned on what people were going to think about me. So I did not really post about myself. But the first few months, I was hiding behind the camera and I wasn't being myself. And it wasn't until I let go of that and I was like, the heck with everybody. Like, I don't want to go to work. So I'm going to show who Sam really is. And yeah, it took me time because it's not easy to get on a camera. Like, I still hate doing lives, but I still do it. That now 13, 14 months later, I'll be myself and I can record something and maybe some. Sophia tried the juice, guys, the energy drink. The girl spilled the whole juice on the floor. You think I deleted that? Hell no. I am a mom. My kid makes a mess, and everyone will see that I'm going to clean the mess. Guess what? That's Sam. That's what we need to do. If we are wasting time and on this person that's not even real, it is very time consuming. You're going to be overwhelmed thinking like, man, I could have done this differently. Just be yourself. Like, no one wants a fake person. Everyone wants the real you. So find your 5 niche that make you you and share that. That will make you be consistent. That will make your stories always be the same in just, different things every single day. But you're always posting, you're always being consistent. You want people to watch the stories because Instagram will filter your profile first to everybody that's always checking your stories. And you want that. You want that interaction with people. So tip number 4, I know a lot of people are like, there's so many group chats and there's too much going on. And then when there's sales, there's too much chats and everyone is talking. Blah, 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 blah. I understand that. So this is what I do. Mute your chat. And I know a lot of leaders are like, no, Sam, what are you nuts? No, listen. If you are going to mute your chat, you're not going to just mute it and not pay attention to it. No, you can mute it. And throughout the day, you need to go check in. Why? Because maybe you missed a sale. Maybe you missed an important call. Maybe you missed someone that, they had a complaint about something. And guess what? Now your customer is dealing with the same. And if you would have read that when that happened, you would have known how to answer. So you guys can mute the chat, but go back and read it throughout the day. How do I do it? Because, God knows how many chats I have. I literally look for keywords. I'll look for leaders that write in the group chat. If there's somebody that's new, because I can recognize the new names, I'll check the upline really quick and then I'll let the upline know like, hey, this person wrote, she hasn't been answered, go take care of that. But I'll look for leaders like, okay, so like Nicole, if Jessica wrote something, if specific people that are in other group chats, the Reunited, there's a lot going on, I'll look through something because maybe I'll miss something and they caught it in the other leaders chat. If someone tags my name, if I see Samantha Padilla, if I see my name was tagged, that will get my attention and I'll read it faster. So find your way that you don't have to have all the chats going off. You can mute it, but you do need to go in there and check and see what's going on throughout the day. So that was tip number 4. Again, this is supposed to be for moms, but I feel like everyone can learn from this. From there, I put, so I said that from tip 4, A would be find your top leader messages so you don't miss any important news. B is if someone typed your name, if someone said, Jessica, whatever, then Jessica knows, okay, I'm gonna look at this because I just saw my name tagged. And then C is answer people's needs. Let me tell you something. As your team gets bigger, and bigger, you will have levels down. Somehow, as duplicatable as we are, some messages will get skipped and missed. So I'll have, for me, girls, level 5, 6, 7, hit me up with a simple question with what is detox, for an example. I'm not gonna answer right away. What I do is I ask them, hey, did you ask your upline? They'll tell me yes, no, or why, or when not. But I will hit up their upline and get them together with that person so there's no, like, I'm not answering just everybody. Because I feel like at the end of the day, everyone should be working with their upline. And if maybe that upline doesn't know, cool, no problem. I'm here to answer you guys, but let's all work together in that circle. So don't be so quick in answering. Remember 3 before me, 3 resources before you hit your upline, and then we go from there. And tip number 5, which is the final one, I don't have a set way. Like I said, this was for moms. One of the things that we all agreed was that time management was really hard. Like, we don't know what time in the day to work the business. And I am here to say, I can't tell you what time to work the business. We all work on a different schedule. Life is different for all of us. What I can say is how I run the business. So really quick in the morning, on my phone, I have it in order. So I'll have WhatsApp, I'll have GroupMe, I'll have Instagram, and I'll have my emails. And when I wake up, and I'm trying not to do it right away as soon as I wake up, like obviously when I get out of bed, but what I do is I'll go through WhatsApp. From WhatsApp, I'll go to GroupMe. From GroupMe, I'll send a schedule to WhatsApp. Now I go into Instagram, answer Instagram, check my emails, and then I finish with my phone for a little bit. Then I'll go and do whatever I got to do. Coffee, breakfast, read the Bible, check in on Instagram. And literally, that's how I run my business. I can't say I have a schedule and I'll say from 9 to 10, I'm doing this. From 12 to 1, I'm doing this. No, you guys can work it at your own pace, but you need to monitor what is it. I'm applying 5 hours on what? What am I doing with the 5 hours? So that's how I run the business. I don't have a set schedule other than that I'm always checking in, but I also allow myself some time because in the beginning, I was breathing, eating, sleeping, everything on 8, and I was forgetting my child. And then that's when I asked myself, so then what's the point? If I want time freedom, I'm taking the time from my daughter to work a business. Where's the freedom? I'm seeing my daughter less. She's here. What am I doing? So we just have to be mindful, as busy as we are, what are we doing with our time on Instagram, on Facebook, whatever the case may be. And so to finish, as a result, be yourself. Do not be someone else. The sale that just happened right now, the Rejuvenique and the Botox, I did not create flyer. I didn't create content. This weekend, my husband was here. It's very time consuming. All the juggling around with the hats, the mom, the wife, the Sam, all this. I didn't set a time to create content. Ladies, if you are busy, do not waste 2 hours creating content. Put your face on Instagram, grab a bottle and say, hey, we're having a sale. Use this for this. Or maybe you don't need to talk. Show, and you can type it. Put music in the background if you don't want to talk. Sometimes you don't have time to create content, but you know what? You do have time to show your face. So be yourself and just do it. If you think about what am I going to post tomorrow, what am I going to do, you're already wasting time when you can be doing something else. And so with that being said, I wanted to just end it with just do it. It was supposed to be for mom, just do it. Don't think about it. If you're yourself, it makes life a whole lot easier to post, to talk, and to just be comfortable with everything, period. And that is done. I'm done actually for the night. Just you pointing. Go ahead, Jess. I think you can mute or no. Check now.
Okay, yeah, I got it. I just want to say something, ladies. One of the beauties about this business, and I'll be brief, one of the beauties about this business is that we are all different. You know, we all have a different voice. We all have a different way of explaining things. I don't know, I can't speak for anyone, but I know that when someone's teaching me something, I may not connect with that person, but if somebody else explain it, I can make that connection. That's why all the calls are just as important, because even though you've seen an onboarding, even though you've seen a Smart Start call over and over and over again, maybe the person who's hosting the call is going to say something that you are going to actually connect with that you missed on the 5, 6, 7 other calls that you've actually joined and you've been on the call. So be yourselves. If you mess up while you're doing a video, I don't understand why we hold back when we do videos. Sam and I were talking this weekend, and she was like, hey, I asked her, can we share, you know, a mom call, the link that we have with our, you know, Instagram followers. And she was like, oh yeah, do a flyer. I was like, Sam, no, we're not doing no flyers. I feel like we babysit a lot, in which like we do the content for you guys. Of course, we want everyone to be just as successful as everyone else has been in the business, but you have to come out of your shell. A closed mouth is a closed business. Again, a closed mouth is a closed business. How do you expect someone to make a connection with you when all I see is pictures? I probably seen that pictures from the 5 previous people that were in front of you in my stories. So therefore, when I get to you, I'm not interested. You guys need, you ladies, gentlemen, and you know, whoever's on the call need to come out of that, come out of your shell. Once you start talking, you guys are going to feel like that some weight has been lifted off of your shoulders. It feels so good to actually like just be yourself. I have a stuttering problem, and that's just something that I'm going to have to, you know, live with for the rest of my life. And when I get excited, I stutter a lot. And that's, you know, and when in my stories, I may be like, hey, this and this and that. And I'm just like, oh my God, I said this word 3 times. And I'll just be like, ugh, like, and I'll just keep it going because that's just me. You know, the more natural you are, the more the better of a connection people are going to make with you, obviously. And also, if your page is private, please no, because really, who are you? Who's your audience? The people that have been following you for 5 years. And tell me, how's that working for you? Like, is that getting you any business? Please put your pages public. You guys need to attract new clients. And just be yourselves, like Sam said. No one is perfect. Stop trying to be. I am never going to be like Sam. That's just the bottom line. I am never going to be like, who else is here? Mindy. I am never going to be like Jasmine, Kathy, or Jackie. Because you know what? Our superpower is that no one is like you. You are unique. Work it how you want to work it, but also work it with, you know, obviously facts. Be very careful with the vocabulary that you use when you guys are explaining the benefits of products. And more importantly, talk about how it's influenced your life, how it's added value to you. I will also talk about how it's added value to everyone else in this call, but most importantly to me, because I want people to connect with me at the end of the day. You know, at the end of the day, this is your business, and just be yourselves. And that's really all I have.
Two things which reminded me. Let's say you're on Instagram and you really don't know what to talk about. Create a problem. You want to sell something, create a problem. Create a problem to somebody and offer that solution. That's one thing I learned from Daniel. If you don't create a problem, you'll never make someone feel like they need it. So I did that yesterday, and it actually worked because I made a few sales. In the winter, this part right here, my nose actually cracks, and on my lip is dry, and I have this problem where it's dry as well. That was my problem, and I gave it a solution. What do? I use the Rejuvenate oil. That made me some sales. So let's say you don't want to talk about the products because you're so scared of what you may say, what you may not say. Guess what? We'll say, this is the issue that I'm having, this is what I'm using, and this is my result. That's it. You just created a problem and you give someone a solution, and there may be one or two people that are dealing with the same thing, and you just provided a solution to them, and they're gonna want it. That's one thing. And then getting new people, it works obviously when your page is public. When you do have it public, go to places and tag the location. If you tag that restaurant, when that person goes to that restaurant or store or shopping center, and I've done it, I put Rich Hill, I put some parts of my location, people tag those restaurants and they'll go into that link. And because your picture looks pretty, they'll click on your profile. If they feel like your profile is awesome, they'll follow you. And guess what? Now you just got a new follower. So those are two tips. Find a problem, offer the solution. And when you go to a public place, tag the location, and then you'll get new followers. And so with that being said, thank you everybody for taking a Sunday to join a call, and have yourself an amazing night. Bye.